Are you tired of your foot straps always coming unloose when you row? Well, this is the video for you. My name is Amanda Diver. I'm the rowing doc. I'm a doctor of physical therapy here to help you row without aches and pains and row without getting hurt. So let's get started. Please hit that subscribe button. It lets people find my mini little channel and click that little notifications and the thumbs up if you like it. Notifications will let you know when there's new videos coming out answering your questions. All right, let's get going. All right, so talking about the foot straps and them getting loose while you're rowing. This usually happens for a couple different reasons, but the main component that's happening is you're using your feet and your feet muscles more than you ideally need to. Sometimes this can lead to things like shin splints, like pain in the front of that shin. Sometimes it happens a little bit more on the outside of the leg, but a little bit towards like between that outside and the front, like on the in-between area. But sometimes it can also create stuff in your ankle or your foot, or you may not even notice it. But what it does is it does change your stroke a little bit, and it can make you less efficient on the rowing machine as well. So even if you're not getting any aches or pains, it's something that one, could possibly contribute in the future, might not, and two, just could decrease your results on the rowing machine. So let's get behind the reasons that it normally happens. So again, it usually happens if you're using your feet muscles more than you want. A lot of the muscles that are responsible for our ankle movement are actually up here in the calf area. So the calf muscles and the ones in the front, they're responsible for doing movements of our ankle or our feet. So the ones responsible for pointing our toes are those calf muscles, and you're like, oh, that person has big calves. A lot of that kind of movement going up on your toes. Then you have the bringing your ankle back towards you, and that works all of these muscles here. So when we're in the rowing machine, we actually are going back and forth between those two positions. This is me on my toes, and this is me with my ankle back up. But instead of using the quads and the hamstrings and some other muscles, since we're on a moving slide, to be able to do that movement, you're using some of the muscles down here to do that movement instead and kind of help you along. That can lead to some problems. All right, so let's get going into it. So when you're in the back catch position, this is one of the common places that it happens. So as you're going through the stroke and you push through, you drive through those legs and you come all the way back here, what happens is, I want you to go ahead and watch my feet. I'm gonna loosen it so that you can actually see it happening. But if you watch my feet during the stroke, you'll see what happens. So you can see my toes actually come up. Now what that means is I'm relying on those foot straps to hold me and keep me from flying off of the rowing machine. So I'm putting so much drive, but I'm not actually fully connected with the foot plate and the seat. Instead, I've lost the connection with the foot plate, and I pushed so hard that I lost the connection, and now I'm just relying on those straps, and all these muscles really hold me to the machine to keep me from going flying. So that's the first reason. If you're doing that repeatedly, and your machine may not be the newest of straps, or even if it's new, it can happen, you are basically pulling on this over and over and over and over again, and then the straps often will get looser and looser, and you feel like you need to tighten them throughout your rowing, throughout the piece that you're doing. So that's the first way. The second way is when we're at the back and we're going forward. So normally when we go forward, you are slowly controlling it with your hamstrings and your quads to slowly move yourself forward. So we're working our quads and our hamstrings in a little bit of a different way. Instead of using these muscles to control that movement forward, instead what you might be doing is you're back here with your toes up, and you literally are using that force on the strap to help pull myself forward. Then once you run out of the ankle mobility to actually stay in this position, because you can see my shin is getting closer and closer, well now I've run out, so now my foot is going to go down and hit the foot plate. So so you're basically using those muscles in your feet and here to pull yourself, pulling, and then as soon as I run out of movement, gonna go hit the foot strap and then keep going forward, but you're using more momentum. This commonly happens when people struggle to have a slow stroke rating. So if your stroke rating or your S/M or strokes per minute is really, really high and you struggle to get it low, oftentimes it's because you need that momentum, you need that fast movement forward to be able to get your foot back under the foot plate. So that's something to look for if you are struggling to get your stroke rate down. But those are the most common 2 reasons that people have when they are constantly having to tighten the foot straps or rely on it. So what I would recommend doing is taking your feet out of the straps, and please, on this first stroke, go nice and slow. If you do this with your full force, I have had people fly off of the rowing machine, and that's why your body is using those straps to keep you from doing that. So go a little bit slower and just try rowing like this and keeping your feet on the foot plate the whole time so that it learns the connection to the machine and it learns to not let my feet come up. But if you let your feet come up like normal, that connection's harder to go, and usually you end up going backwards. I've honestly already followed back so many times demoing this that my body doesn't like to do it. So that's one of the things that can happen. You end up flying backwards. So try doing some strokes, 10, 20 as part of your warm-up without your straps in, and see how that improves your rowing. So those are the most common reasons, but if anyone has questions, please leave your comments below. I will come on, make a video like this one, answering your questions. Again, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up if you liked it. Really does help me out, and I hope you all have a fantastic day. See you later.